Yeah, so this is this workshop is not not for you to like work too hard. I will ask you to participate, but don't worry about submitting anything. This is just for learning, to answer any questions you might have, or basically to help you with this competition. So that is the purpose of this workshop. So don't take too much stress about submitting any programs. Okay, I'm not going to look at your programs, but feel free to write programs, and I'll tell you when to do that. Okay. So can you all see my screen? It says welcome to Scratch Programming. Just raise your hands.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
We can see that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am, I can see.
Yes, sir. I can see.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have a couple of requests. First of all, keep your microphones on mute. And when I say, when I ask you a question, raise your hand. I think you can use the Zoom handle to show that you have raised your hand. And if you have any question, what I'll do is I'll give you a chance to ask questions. Only then type your question in the text window, in the chat window. Okay, don't ask questions using your audio, but type them in the text window, and then I'll read some of them because
Hello, sir.
we don't have a lot of time to answer all the questions, but I'll try to answer as many questions as possible. And type them only when I ask you to. Okay, I'll ask you to say, okay, now ask me questions, and only then ask me questions. Okay, so let me first tell you what we plan to do today. So this is the outline of today's workshop. First of all, I'll talk a bit about why learn programming and what is programming all about, and why should you take part in this competition. You already have you've already enrolled, but what is the purpose of this competition and why it is exciting for you? I'll explain that. And what do we expect from you in this competition? So what is expected? The next thing is, as you know, there's not a lot of time for you to for us to teach you Scratch. So we expect you to learn on your own. So I'm going to give you some guidelines on how you can quickly learn Scratch all by yourself. And then if there is time today, I will try to explain some concepts myself. I'll try to explain a couple of interesting ideas from Scratch to you. All right. So like I said, the rules are pretty simple. Send me questions by text only when I ask you to, and try to stay awake. Okay. So why learn programming? Now, I think all of you already know this is the age of computers. We use computers for everything, for entertainment, for work, for learning, for for business, for finance, for paying taxes. So there is no doubt in anybody's mind that we are living in the age of computers, and it's going to get more and more like that. I think more and more things will be done on the computers. And if you don't agree, most likely you are asleep, right? So it makes sense to learn about computers. So that's number one. Now you could be a user, right? You could be just a user who knows how to use computers. You could use software like browsers, the word processing, software like Word, or you could play games that somebody else has designed. But it is a lot more fun to create things on yourself, right? So programming is the way to create. I mean, if you want to just consume something that somebody else has created, that's fine. But I think creating things on your own is more fun, more exciting, more challenging. And for that, you need to learn programming. Secondly, understand. So when I'm using a browser, I know I can type something and say, query Google, tell me where I can find information about Mahatma Gandhi or whatever, and I'm using it kind of blindly. I just know it works. It gives me a list of books or whatever. But if I can understand how it works, right? If I can understand exactly what happens when I type a query, or when I click somewhere, or when I'm working with a robot, and you can understand how things work if you learn programming, because programming is the language used by all programs or by all computers. So even if you want to understand how things work, you should learn some programming. Troubleshoot. What I mean by troubleshoot is what you do when something doesn't work. For example, your mom says, hey, this doorknob is not working anymore. Can someone fix it? Right? That fixing is called troubleshooting. You go there, look at the knob, exactly what has come, what has happened. Oh yeah, just the screw has become loose. So you find a screwdriver and you tighten it, and your mom is happy, right? So that is called troubleshooting. So if you want to troubleshoot computers, if you want to troubleshoot when something is not working, programming helps because it kind of, you know how things work. So you can figure out what might have gone wrong and try to fix it. For example, most common problem is suddenly the Wi-Fi doesn't work or internet is down. So you need to understand how that happens at the inside, not just the outside. And finally, I'm just, it's a joke, but someday, maybe we'll have a war with computers, right? There may be a war with robots. So unless you know how robots work, the language they use, we won't be able to defeat them. So, and the language they use is programming. So if you want to defeat an enemy, you have to understand their secret weapon, their secret language. And programming is the way, um, robots communicate. Okay. Um, so let's, so like I said, programming is the way how things work, and I call it the new magic. So can you guys please not draw anything on the screen? Yeah, thank you.
Sir, do we have to follow a particular theme?
Yeah, let's get there. All right. So what is programming? So programming is, there's a bunch of things. Programming is not just the language. Um, so you might have heard about names like, Python, Java, and now we are talking about
Yes,
Scratch.
sir, I learned Python.
Good. So I think some of you might know some of these languages. Maybe your parents use some of them. When you say I'm a programmer, uh, it means bunch of things. It's not just knowing the language. So for example, if you say I know Scratch or I know Python, there's just one small part of it. You also have to understand certain computer science ideas like variables and conditionals and looping and so on. And some of them are covered as part of Scratch. The next most important thing to become a good programmer is to be creative because you have to have your own ideas of what you want to do with that language. So what to do with Scratch has to come from you, right? You say I want to create a game, I want to create animation, I want to create some puzzle, right? So that creativity is your contribution to programming. For example, you may say I know how to design a city in the ocean. So you are a architect and you know how to build a city in the ocean. That's your idea. And the next thing is problem solving. How do you take a problem? How do you take an idea and break it down into a step by step solution, right? Or how do you break it down into multiple problems? So you can take a complex problem and solve it by creating multiple smaller problems. So, for example, a city in the ocean will be a collection of buildings, roads, waterways, electric connections, and so on, right? It's not just one thing, it's a combination of multiple things. So, let's come back to our competition. So, why do we want you to take part in this competition, right? So, these are some of the reasons I have listed here. Number one is we want you to learn Scratch programming because we think programming is a great thing to learn for all of us, especially for kids. We want you to exercise your creative juices. We want you to become creative and not just, copy somebody's ideas, but come up with your own ideas. That's another reason we want you to take part in this competition. Thirdly, we want you to practice problem solving. So you will have a lot of problems. Right away, you need to figure out how to learn Scratch. Or when you start coding, you will start hitting more problems. So in that process, you have to learn how to solve problems. You go to practice problem solving. We want you to have a lot of fun. So this is not about an exam that you need to pass, get a certificate or whatever. It's about having fun. Just like you would have had fun in a real Ganpati festival, Ganeshotsav, we want you to have fun in this competition also. And start your journey towards becoming a real programmer. So we don't want you to just stop programming at this competition. We want you to continue learning Scratch, continue learning programming, and I'll tell you how to do that. This is a long journey, and this is just the beginning. And winning prizes, yes, we want you to win prizes. We want you to win first, second, third prize, but that's a low priority. Don't focus on winning the prize. One's great, but that's not your main reason for taking part in this competition. So think of this as a festival and not as a competition. Okay, this is a Ganpati festival, and we are going to have some fun by creating some cool, interesting programs. And competition is just motivation to do as good as well as you can. Okay, so what do we expect from you in this competition? Number one, some of you asked us, like, does Ganpati have to be in this program? The answer is yes. Now, you could have a program in which Ganpati is just watching. You could be watching, sitting in the corner, which is fine. But whatever program you write, you must have Ganpati taking part in some way, either as a participant or as a spectator or in some way. So make sure Ganpati is part of your program. Now, what kind of projects, what kind of programs you can write? Now, Scratch is a very powerful language, so you can do lots of different things with Scratch. So one is you can write an animation, right? Short story animation. You can take a story from Ganpati's life or somebody else's life, like Shivaji's life, right? And create a short animation which shows that story. Now, don't take a complex story. Take a simple story which will not go more than a minute or 2 minutes, okay? Because right now you don't have a lot of time to learn Scratch to create very complex animation. But take a simple story, maybe a part of it, keep it short, and create an animation which we can watch and enjoy the story. The next type is interactive animation. So what I mean by that is it may not be a story, but some kind of a animation where the user interacts and things happen. For example, a magic show, right? So you may have buttons which say, click on this to play this magic, or click on this button to play that magic. So it is animation because each magic is some animation, but it happens when the user, like us, clicks somewhere. So it's an interactive animation. That's another type you can create. Or you can create a game. So game, everyone likes games, everyone likes to play games, but here is your chance to create your own game, right? Now, what is a game? Game as an objective. Now, how to win the game, right? That's an objective. It has rules. So every person who plays a game has to follow those rules. It has prizes. So sometimes you get points, sometimes you win some good looking things, maybe, precious stones, whatever, right? Prizes and penalties. So when the user breaks the rules, he or she is penalized. So the points go down or he loses one of the prizes. That is what a game is. Now, what exactly you should create is up to you. So you could create a game, for example, in which Ganpati Bappa is, is playing with the mouse, his vehicle, or maybe he is trying to eat modaks, and he can eat modak only if he does something with his parents. Right? Some kind of a game where you create the rules, you create the objective, and it becomes an interesting, fun thing to play for the user. The next type you can create is an interactive greeting card. So greeting card, we have all kinds of important days, right? We have Mother's Day, we have Father's Day, we have birthdays, we have anniversaries, we have Ganpati, right? Ganeshotsav. So we send greeting cards to our friends. So this greeting card could be a scratch program where you say Happy Mother's Day, and the flowers come up, or some sweets suddenly show up. And then the mother walks in and she eats them and says, "Oh wow, it's so delicious," right? So it has to be an interactive, uh, fun-looking greeting card. The next thing you could do is what I call interactive digital art. Now, when I say digital art, don't get don't don't worry. It's not nothing complex. Basically, there's a thing called pen commands in Scratch, using which you can create drawings on the screen, right on the stage. So when the sprite moves, it can draw a line on the screen. If the sprite moves in a circular fashion, you'll see a circle on the screen. So using your knowledge of geometry and use your creativity, you can create some interesting designs on the screen, right? That's called digital art. And it's simple. All you have to do is use the pen commands to touch the pen on the screen, and then wherever the sprite goes, he or she that sprite is going to keep drawing. And what it draws depends on the commands you give in your program. So like I said, if the commands are to move in a square fashion, you will see a square. If you ask the sprite to move in a straight line, you'll see only a straight line, and so on. Information tool. So information tool is basically like, you might have visited museums and art galleries or, some tourist places where you might have seen there are guides who tell you, about that place. Sometimes there is audio, right? You can listen to it. Like for example, if you go to, you know, uh, Bijapur, the fort of Bijapur, the recording will tell you what the fort was used for. So you could create a program which gives information. So for example, maybe you can create an information program about Ganpati, right? Why do we celebrate Ganeshotsav? What is special about Ganpati? What do we learn from him, right? That could be an information tool which somebody can just click and say, okay, click here to find about this, click here to find out about this, and so on. So that becomes a information tool. Or it could be something as simple as a computer. You're trying to teach about computer, and when you click on the keyboard, it's okay. Keyboard is for typing. Click on the screen. Screen is where you see things, and so on. So information tool is for someone to learn about that thing. And finally, simulation of real life events. So a real life event could be, a procession or weather phenomenon, how rain falls, right? Something that happens in real life, and you want to explain that through a program. So, for example, as you know, how does the rain fall? First of all, because of the sunlight, some water evaporates from the ocean. That water becomes vapor, goes in and becomes clouds. Then the clouds float because of the wind, and then they come on top of some cool areas, because of which they come down, and when they become cool, the vapor becomes water, it falls, and that becomes rain, right? So this phenomenon, this process is what I mean by real life event. And you can show that using your Scratch program. So anyway, there are all these different types, and you can pick and choose based on what you like, what you can do, and don't be too ambitious. Like I said, you don't have a lot of time, so keep your program simple, not too ambitious, and make sure it is interactive. So interactivity is most important. What I mean by interactivity, the user cannot just sit and watch, right? This is not a movie. It is not a video that I just watch, but I need to click here, click there, press some keys, and then the program kind of runs depending on what I'm doing. That's called interactivity. And you can find more about all this on our virtualbappa.in website. There is a page called FAQ. FAQ stands for frequently asked questions, and there you can see whatever I just said just now. It's all written up in great detail, so you can go and read it up. So any questions so far? Maybe you can type some questions if you have any before I keep moving. So no question that needs to be answered.
It's just, I think maybe I mentioned about the length of the like animation film,
Mhm.
or if they're doing any animation. So I was mentioning 5 minutes maximum, but preferably 1 to 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let me give
Yeah.
you some warning. Programming is fun, and it is simple. It's not too complex. But because there is not a lot of time between now and the deadline, don't try to do anything too ambitious. I mean, even to get an animation of 1 minute is a lot of work. Okay, it may seem like a short time, just 30, 60 seconds, but it is, it's a bit of a challenge. So keep it simple. 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, but don't make it more than that. Or even a game or anything you do, keep the rules simple, keep the objective simple. Don't take too many sprites. I would say 4 to 5 sprites, not more than that. If you're doing some drawing, you know, try some simple drawings, not too complex. Because one good thing about programming is you can keep adding to it, right? You can first draw a circle, then add a square, and then add a rectangle. So a program can grow over time. It's something simple, and then make it more and more interesting. So let me talk about Scratch versions. Good question. So there is Scratch 2.0 and there is Scratch 3.0, and both are equally good. There is not a whole lot of difference between them in terms of the programming part of it. The look is different. It looks different, but the actual commands and actual CS concepts are very, very similar. So, for example, I do a lot of work in Scratch 2.0. Okay, and I can easily load it into Scratch 3.0 without any additional work. So if you have Scratch 2.0, by all means use that. And then when you go to your website, you can simply say load from the computer and then load that program into your online account and it will automatically convert to 3.0. So we want you to submit everything in 3.0, but you don't have to program in 3.0. You can do the programming in 2.0 and simply load your computer, your program in 3.0. So let me show you. Story can be imaginary. Yes, I mean, we want you to be creative. Doesn't have to be a known story. You can create your own story. You can download Scratch 3.0. So if you go to the main page, go to the bottom, and there is a button called Download Scratch. So you can download Scratch 2.0 as well as 3.0, to your computer. There is going to be a special form that you have to use to submit your project, where you just give the link. So your project file is going to be on the MIT website, right? And you just have to get the link of the project. So let me now just hold on. Let me actually go to the Scratch site and show you some of these things. So just hold on. So
We will inform you how to submit the project. So let's just hold on. Just keep track on Facebook, and then you will know how to submit the projects.
Scratch, when you type in scratch.mn.edu, okay, this is what you see.
Sir,
Create your own account. And I think Rajiv sir has shown this to you already. Now, once you create an account, you can work on the site itself by simply saying create. For example, if I click on create, I will see this Scratch interface where I can create a program. For example, let's say I want to create a drawing program which draws a square. Just hold on, okay? And I'm going to just show you how to create a
Sir, we have to first step from event block when flag is clicked.
Just hold
Then
on,
we have
please.
to.
I'm going to show you how to draw a square. And say repeat 4. Then say move 100. Then 190.
Excuse me, sir. Can you repeat, please?
I will. I'm just showing a quick demo and I'll explain it to you in a minute. So first of all,
You take the hello that.
I'll do that. Let me first show you how to draw a square. So
we can make so many. We can make so many
what is that?
animation.
Okay. Now if I click on this program, if I just click on it, just see what happens. Now the square kind of went outside. So let me draw it again by.
Sir, when flag click.
I don't have to do that. I can just click on this script. So don't worry about the green flag right now. So if I click on this script, it will draw a square. Now the way, so this is a program, this is a Scratch program, right? It draws a square. I created this program on the website, on the browser. This is one way you can create programs. And then when you create it, it automatically saves it. So you can say save now. You can give it a name. So here is, you can give it a name. You can say this is a square program, right? And you can save it. Then I can share it. When I say share, that program you can share.
Sir, so we have to share it like this only, or we have to make a video or like that?
No, like just like this. So you don't have to do any video. You create a program, and then you.
Sir, but what you click like join and all, I don't have that. I just join means like I installed it.
Sir,
and
I have the account on Scratch, but I didn't understand how to share the project with everybody.
Yeah. So once you click on share, all you have to do is you just have to go to this link, the browser, browser when you enter the URL, right, and copy this line. So this line is what you share with us. That's how you will share. There is no share button.
No, once the project is done, how do I share?
Yeah, I just showed you just
Copy
now.
the link.
Let me show you one more time. I'm going to create another project. Now just watch carefully.
Sir, I have a question.
No, wait,
I
watch.
use the offline editor, so how do I share with the offline editor?
I'll talk about that. So right now, watch one more time. I'm going to create a simple program which just says hello. Okay. So just say, hello. That's all. That's all. Now, do you see the share button here? So when you say share, when you click on that, the program becomes shared. And now you go here and copy this line. And this line is what you share with us.
So I want to ask one thing. We are in the team, and we have took
No, no,
four to
no.
five four projects which you were given in the list, and we have made in the form of application. So is it okay, or we have to make it separated?
Sir,
Okay. Now
I
I'm going to mute everyone, and you have to type your questions, and some of them Raju sir will answer, some of them I will answer. Okay. Okay. So like I said, this is one way to share. I just showed you. You can create a program. When you create a program, it shows you a share button. When you click on share, that program is now shared. But how do I know, right, where the program is? You have to tell me by copying this line here. So this line is what you need to share. And we are going to provide you a form in which you copy and paste this line. You copy that line and paste it into that form, the online form, which will come later, not right now. So right now you just create the program. So this is how you do programming online. Now, if you have offline editor, like for example, I have Scratch on my machine, and I can create my programs offline. How do I share it with you, right? How do I share it with the competition people? It's easy. Again, you say create, go to the website, say create a project, and then you go to file, and there is a thing called load from your computer. You see that? So when you click on this, you can actually go and see, wherever your program is. For example, you can see I have lots of Scratch 2 programs. So I'm going to just load one of them just for fun and show you. So let's say I have a bricks program. It's the bricks game. I'll say open and say okay. So this program I had created on my machine, not on the website, right? Using my offline editor, which is 2.0. But you can see I am able to import it here. It automatically becomes 3.0. And now I can play it. So if I make it full screen, it's a bricks game. And I can start playing it. Right? So we'll stop it. So it's pretty easy. You can either work on the browser, on the website, or you can work on the computer offline. But as soon as you do that, once again you have to share it. So again I have to share the program. Well, let me call it something else. I'll call it trial 2 and say share. Once it is shared, you can see your project is now shared. Right? You must see that. Once you see that, you can copy this line here, right, and then share it with us. Or if you want to do it later, you can go to your projects. So you can see here there's a button called My Stuff. When we go to My Stuff, you see all your programs. Okay, so you can see all your programs, and whatever program you want to share with us, you can simply go here and right click. You can see right click, copy link. The copy link will copy that link, right? And then you can paste it anywhere you want. So I say copy link, and I can paste it in the form. So sharing a project is quite straightforward. But make sure you don't forget the share button. Every time you create a project, whether it is on the website or on the computer, you have to click on that share button. Only then it becomes shareable. And then you can right click on it and copy the link. All right. So, and you can download Scratch as I told you earlier. If you go to the main screen, you go to the bottom, which is a button called download, right? So if you click on download, I'm going to click on it and see what happens. Right? You can download the Scratch app on your machine. So if you have Windows 10 or Mac OS or any of these, it works for all of these. Now Android, but only for tablet. So don't try it on a phone. It's not going to work on a phone. And you just click on the download button to download it. If you want older version, so like some of you said, I want to use 2.0. You can come down and say I want Scratch 2.0, and you can say click on this and download Scratch 2.0. Even that works. As I just showed you, whatever you create, you can import on your website. All right, enough of that. Let's get back to our how to learn Scratch. I just showed you how to download, right? And you'll see a share option only when you create a project. Okay? Not, and you'll see it only on the website, not on the offline version. So you have to go to the website. Show you one more time. You say create. You create a project. You can either create it here, or you can upload from your from your computer. In either case, you have to then click on this share button. Unless you click on this button, that project is not shareable. It is not shared with anyone. So you have to click on this. And how that project was created doesn't matter. You still have to create, or you click on the share button. Okay, now let me show you a few things about. Let me go to my presentation and see where I was. Okay, now how to learn Scratch, right? Scratch is actually quite an easy language to learn, but you still have to do some learning. So first of all, you could explore Scratch yourself, right? So like I showed you, you can simply come to Scratch here and try these commands. For example, all these commands that are visible here, you can try them out. So if I, let's say, for example, if I have this cat here and I click on this move command, right? I bring it here. If I say move 100, I can change it to 100. Then if I click on this block, see what happens. The cat has moved some distance. So obviously move command is to move the cat somewhere. You can explore Scratch by clicking on these different commands to understand how they work. But that's not the best way, right? Another way you can learn Scratch is by going to the Scratch website. Let's go back here, the Scratch main page. So when you come here, you'll see a button called Explore. You see this button called Explore? So Explore is where you can actually do some learning all by yourself. So when I click on it, you'll see a lot of different tutorials. So these are all tutorials to do something, right? So now it's showing all. Let's say I want to just learn about animation, right? So I'll click on animations. And then let's say I want to click on, let's go down a bit. I want to learn how to guess the number. Like I'll click on guess the number. So it tells you what is this project, and there is some information on how to run this. There is some instructions given here, right? So you can click on any of these different demo programs and see how they are designed. So click on ideas, and you will see these tutorials. So these tutorials are going to help you how to do things, right? So now you can come down here and they have all these activity guides. And it says, what do you want to do with Scratch? And for each of these things you want to do, there's a tutorial. So for example, let's say you want to create a Pong game, right? So let's click on that. Yeah, so there are many of these tutorials available, and you can slow them down, watch them as often as you want, and then you can try it right here. So whatever the video is saying, you can try it yourself by dragging and dropping those blocks and see what happens, right? So this is a great way to learn Scratch right there on the Scratch website. There are a ton of tutorials. So if you go up here, there's a way to, you can choose a tutorial, and depending on what activity you want, there is one on making music, there is one on creating a story, there is one on creating a game, and there are many more. If you can click on see all tutorials, you'll see a bunch of many more tutorials. This is one way you can learn Scratch on your own, because all these are guided tutorials. There is videos which will tell you how things work. Okay. The second thing you can do if you want to learn Scratch by yourself is there's a wiki site which is slightly more advanced. So once you go past these tutorials, you can go to the Scratch wiki site. Now how do you do that? Again, you kind of go back to the main page of Scratch. And I would recommend that you go there only after you have finished all these tutorials and you think you want to learn something more advanced. So again, go down the bottom, and I think there is a wiki site somewhere, Scratch wiki. Under community, there's a link called Scratch wiki. And if you click on that, there's a lot of resources about how to learn Scratch. So here you can see tutorials again. These are different tutorials, different from what we just saw. And you can click on any of these. How to do drawing and animation, how to do scripting. And each of them will again explain to you some more advanced ideas about Scratch. Now, if you like books, if you're someone who likes to read books and learn from them, then we have some books on our website that you can look at and maybe get some of those. And okay, can you see it now? So once again, you're not supposed to create an application. You just create a Scratch program and you upload it to your Scratch website and then share the link of that program. It is not for a mobile, it is not for any smartphone, it is on the computer. You can use your Windows computer or a Macintosh Apple computer. Those are the two options, and use one of those using a browser. You can go online or use the offline version to create the program. You have to upload it to your account on the MIT site and then share the link of that program with us. As I said, you can create any of those project types I just showed you. It can be animation, it can be a game, it can be an information tool, it can be a a digital art kind of a drawing, and just one project per team, per student, per submission. Now for things like how to create an account, how to join Scratch, you should take help from someone. It's very simple. When you go to the MIT site for the first time, you will see a button called join. Okay. Now I don't see it because I already have an account, so I cannot show that button to you. But once you go there, you can say join and then enter your user ID and then set a password, and that's it. Once you join, every time you go there, you'll see your account and then you can create your own programs there. Yeah.
I actually wanted to answer some of the questions.
Yeah.
So
Please.
I thought, and I was not able to unmute, but that's fine.
Yeah. Go ahead now.
Yeah. So you have answered some of the questions. Like it's only one project, either per student or per team. You can't submit two. And those who want to talk to us directly, once we finish this workshop, it's only possible after that, not now. Account, how to create an account on Scratch. We have a video, a short video that we have shared it on our Facebook page. You can check that and then you will be able to create that account.
All right. So I'm going to go back to Scratch and I'm going to show you some basic things about Scratch because some of you have not even, started with Scratch programming. So I'll show you some simple things so you can get started and continue your learning on your own. So let me go to the Scratch page. All right, this is the main Scratch page. I hope everyone can see it. Yes, all of you can see. Can you just type yes if you can see my shared screen? Okay, good. So now that you have joined Scratch, you have an account. So I have an account called Abhay Joshi. By the way, one thing you can do is once you join Scratch, you can follow other people. So you can follow me and you can ask me questions. And you can follow your friends and see their projects. All that is allowed on the Scratch website. Okay, once you come here, if you want to actually start programming, you can go to create button. And I'm going to show you a few simple things about Scratch. So this white thing in the middle is where your program gets created. Okay, this is called the script window. So the script window is where your program is created. So right now it is blank because there is no program, right? Now this part on the right hand side where you see the cat is your stage. So whatever animation, story, game that you create is going to play out here, just like the stage in the movie theater, right? Or the place where you see plays. So this is a stage. That's where the actors do the performance. On the left hand side is all the commands. So one good thing about Scratch is you don't have to remember anything. All the commands are available here. You don't have to memorize their names or anything. You can simply come here and see them. And there are different kinds of commands. So right now you are seeing all the blue commands. You click on the purple button here. You'll see the purple commands. You click on the yellow button. You'll see the yellow commands, and so on. So each of this type is a set of commands. Okay, and again you have to learn about them. I'm not going to talk about everything today, but a few simple things. So the blue commands are all called motion commands. Right? You can see at the top it says motion. So if you want to move, now this cat is called a sprite. Sprite is just a technical name. You can think of it as a character. So just like a movie has characters, a play has characters, you will have characters in your program. So creating a Scratch program is like creating a movie or a play, and you are the director. You are the movie director. You are in charge. You decide your actors, your characters, and you decide what they will do. So what they will do is called the script, right? Even if I don't know if you have taken part in your school plays, but what each of them does is called a script. So just like that, each of them has a script, and you can add more characters. So right now you just have one character here, but you can add more by going here and create, adding more. So if you go down here, you can see choose a sprite. So choosing a sprite is where you can add more sprites. So for example, if you go to the top button here, you can upload, then you can say paint, and then you can choose a sprite from the library. So Scratch itself has a bunch of built-in characters. So which is where you choose your sprites. Let's try that. And you can see there's a variety of them. There is people, there is animals, there is fantasy characters, there is sports objects, and there is food objects, and so on. But depending on what story you are creating, you can choose a character. So let's say I want to pick bananas. You click on bananas. Now you can see I have bananas also on my stage, right? So everything in Scratch is a sprite. So this is a sprite, this is a sprite, and each of them has its own script. Now let's say I want the cat to just say hello to all of us. So I can then click on the purple button here because hello is a purple command. I'll say. Now this hello is something I can change. Let's say I want to add something more to it. I'll say hello, bhai. How are you? Right? I can type that thing, and then there is something called a green flag about which you can learn on your own. So if you go to events, take this event block called green flag, put it on top. Now what this means is it's like a green flag. You might have seen, right? There are races, car races or running races. Somebody waves a flag, right? That's when everyone starts running. It's similar to that. So when that flag is waved, and how does it wave? By clicking here. So there's a green flag here. Do you see it here? The top near the stop sign. So when I click on that, this guy gets this event, then he starts running. So if I make this full screen and click on the green flag, the cat will say, let's see who says hello. That's the cat of the bananas. Hello, Abhay, how are you? Let's try it one more time. Right? So this is a very simple way to write a program. Now you can see right now I have selected the cat, but I can select the bananas and write a script for bananas also. So let's say I want the bananas to just go round and round, right? Move around itself. I can do that by again going to motion. There is a turn command. You see this turn command? And if I just say turn once, it will turn only once. Because I want it to turn forever, I go to this yellow thing here, yellow orange. There's a command called forever. I get forever, put turn inside it, right? Again, I put the green flag hat block on top of it. Okay, so now my bananas are going to just turn round and round forever, whereas the cat is going to say hello. So let's try this. I'm going to make it full screen again. Click on the green flag. And let's see what happens. Yeah, so just like we expected, the bananas are going round and round forever, and the cat just said hello once and it stopped. So that's how easy it is to write Scratch programs. You just have to take your characters, give each of them a script, put this green flag hat block on the top, and your program is ready. So if you have multiple characters, they will all do whatever you have told them to do. So this is how we create Scratch programs. Now there are many more ideas. So I'm just giving you some introduction. There are lots of different ideas in Scratch, and I would urge you to look at the tutorials to learn about them. I'm going to show you one idea which is exciting. So right now these sprites, let's add one more sprite. I'm going to add one more sprite, and I'm going to make it a person this time. Let's say I'll take the ballerina. Okay. Yeah, I don't want the banana anymore. So what I can do is I can simply delete the bananas by clicking on this trash button, and then the bananas will go away. Okay. So now I have just the ballerina and the cat. Now I want them to have a dialogue. So the cat will say something, the ballerina will say something, and so on. Right? So now one good thing about the ballerina is, let's see, she can do dancing. Okay. So if you come here, you will see these three buttons. One is called code. Code is the scripts that we create. There's something called costumes. So each sprite can have costumes. Again, it's an interesting idea. I will not talk, because lack of time, I will not talk too much about it. But I urge you to find out about costumes. So costumes is a way for a sprite to change the appearance. Okay, and you can use the costumes to create animation or create magic shows. Basically, you can think of costumes as a person changing appearance, right? So in this case, the ballerina has 4 costumes. And if you click on them, you'll see that they are basically different dance positions, right? It's like taking snapshots when she was dancing. I can use these snapshots to make her look like she is dancing. So let's see how we can do that. So what you do is, again, take the green flag, but that's how we start the program. We just have another 10-15 minutes, so just hold on, okay? And then I'm going to stop talking. You can go back to your fun stuff. So green flag, I'm going to say, let's say I wanted to dance forever. So I'll say forever. And then I want her to look like she's dancing, right? So this is like animation, which is not real dance, but I'm going to create the illusion that she's dancing. How do I do that? I do that by changing her costume. So I make her go through these different costumes quickly, rapidly, and it will look like she's dancing. How do I do the change of costumes? I click on this purple selection, and if you go here, there's a thing called next costume, right? Let's see what happens. I'll say click on green flag. Yeah, so the cat said hello, how are you, and it stopped, and the ballerina has gone crazy. She is dancing too fast, right? She is dancing, but she is dancing too fast. I need to slow her down. How do I slow her down? I can stop the program. If I go to this yellow orange thing again, there is a thing called wait command. So wait is like, don't do anything. So I'm going to put a wait after every next costume. Make it slightly less than 1 second, maybe 0.1 second. Okay, and now let's try it one more time. And that looks like, she is dancing, isn't it? So this is how you can create animation using costumes, right? So there are lots of these interesting ideas in Scratch. So this was one. The other thing was, I showed you earlier, pen art. So you have for the pen art, you have to go down here. You see this blue button, the lower left corner. Click on that, and then you select pen. So there is this pen thing using which you can draw on the screen. So I'm going to select that. And using the pen commands, I can do lots of whatever I want to draw on the screen. So let's say I want the cat to draw a circle. Now how do I draw a circle, right? There is no circle command here. So I need to figure out how to draw a circle by using my geometry knowledge. Now I know drawing a circle is like moving a little bit and turning. I don't know if you guys have played in sand in your school, playgrounds. But if you want to draw a circle, you just have to move a little, turn a little, move a little, turn a little. If I do that continuously, I can draw a circle. Let me try that idea. I'm going to delete the ballerina. I don't need her anymore. What I'll do is I'll go to this orange thing. I'll say forever. I'll go to motion because I want to move and turn. Those are the motion commands. I'll say move one, just a little, and turn one. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm going to make it full screen and click on. This won't work because I have to first put the pen down. So I forgot that, sorry. Let's go back to pen and say pen down. So when you add the sprite, the pen is not active. You have to activate the pen by saying pen down. Before forever, I'll say pen down. Or the pen is touching the screen. So let's see what the sprite draws. You see a circle coming up, right? That's how I can draw a circle, right? Just by moving a little, turning a little. This is a circle. So drawing is basically up to you. You have to use your knowledge of geometry to create drawing, right? For example, I can now create a nice flower of circles by saying, let's say create multiple circles. Now instead of saying forever, I'll use repeat here. I don't want the cat to keep going in circles forever. There's a command called repeat. And I know a circle is basically 360 degrees, right? When I turn 360 degrees, it completes one complete rotation. So I'll say 360, move one and turn one. It will draw a circle. And then, because I want to draw a flower of circles, I'll use another repeat. I'll say repeat 10 and draw 10 circles. And after every circle, I'll turn a little so that every circle is visible separately. Let's say 36. Let's first do this. Because as you saw probably, drawing a circle is kind of a slow process. So you can speed it up by going to edit and say turn on the turbo mode. So turbo mode you should use if you're doing a lot of drawing and which takes a lot of time. So if I say turbo mode, it will happen much faster. Turn on. Okay. Now let's see what happens. I'm going to first clear the screen. So you clear the screen by use the clear or erase all command. Let's do that at the top. And also click on it. By clicking also it will erase. Let's get the cat at the center again. And I'm going to actually make it slightly smaller because otherwise the screen will get filled up. Make it 0.5. Okay, so sorry, it's just taking a bit of time, but I'm going to do it just right. Let's hope this works. Why is it still slow? Let me see if the turbo is on. There it goes. So you can see I drew a flower of circles. It happened so quickly because I turned on the turbo mode. That's why it did the work very quickly. But here you can see I have 10 circles which appear like a flower of circles. And I did that using just my knowledge of geometry. I basically drew 10 circles, each of them at an angle of 36 degrees. And I got this nice looking pattern. Okay, so I'm going to stop here because there's a lot more I can go on talking about Scratch. But I would urge you to either go for the books or go for the online tutorials or look at the wiki site, look at the video on our virtualbappa.in site, but try to learn on your own. Now don't try to learn everything, right? Let me show you one final slide, guide you what to learn. Just give me few more minutes. Share screen again. Let's go back to my slides. We talked about all this. By the way, I also have a course that you can take on your own. It's not really a video course. It's basically a bunch of documents and demo programs. So if you have the patience, you can even go there and look at this self-learning course. Again, this is mentioned on the video on the Virtual Bappa site. You don't have to write this down. Okay. Now, as I've listed here, there's a lot of things that you can learn about Scratch. There is sprite, stage, costumes, there is motion commands, there is sound effects, graphic effects, there is something called repetition. We just saw we use repeat and forever, that's repetition. There is costumes and animation, events, broadcasting, which is used for passing messages between the sprites. They can communicate between them, and so on. So you can't possibly learn all of this, because there's not a lot of time. So what I would recommend is you learn from the left side and then at least learn about costumes, about the sound effects, graphic effects, learn about repetition, learn about costumes and animation, learn about events and broadcasting. So this is the minimum that you should learn to write a meaningful program. Once you finish that, if you have time, go to the right hand side and try to learn conditionals, find out about what that means, what variables and so on. 10 commands, I would say it's easy. So maybe you can learn that also while you're learning these things. But don't try to learn everything. Just on the left hand side, whatever I've shown you, try that, and then go to the right hand side. So what I'll do is I'll also keep this presentation on our website later on, so you can look at it, the PowerPoint file. You can download and see all these slides. You don't have to copy these right now. All right, so that's all I have. Any last minute questions before we stop the workshop?
But yeah, there are a few questions. I think so. Maybe we can address them one by one.
Okay.
There's I think 2-3 times we have got a question like they can't see share button. How to share?
Okay. So let me show you one more time. How about that? So just watch carefully, okay? I'm going to show you one more time how to share your programs. Let me first share my screen. Now sharing screen is different than sharing a program, okay? Don't get confused. So where is my Scratch window? Scratch, what happened to Scratch? Okay, here. Okay. I'm going to go back to the main screen again. Okay. Go back here. Let's go my main account here. And when you go to your website, when you have your own account, when you go to your website, this is what you will see. Okay. And if you click on the messages, you'll see messages, if any. If you have friends, they will talk to you. Or if you see this button, that is my stuff, that shows all your programs. So because I've been programming for a long time, you can see I have lots of programs, 168, 183. They're all listed here. By the way, you can see them if you search for me. My name is Abhay Joshi, so you can search by my name. Now, if I want to create a program, I have to click on the create button, which is up here. So click on create, right? So I can create my program here, just like I showed you just now, by dragging and dropping these commands. Just drag some random commands, right? So this is my program. Now I want to save it and then share it with everyone. How do I do that? I should first say save now. You see that, then give it a name. Let's say I call it Abhay. That's my program name, right? And then click on the share button. You see the share button right here, orange color button. So I have to click on that. Only then the program is shareable. It's not shared yet, but it becomes available for anyone to look at. So I'll click on that. It says your project is now shared. So what that means is, now if I go back to my stuff again, right? Now you can see Abhay also as part of my programs. I can go here and right click and say copy link. So this will copy the link to the program, right? Which then I can paste in my email, in my WhatsApp message, in the form, whatever, right? It's just a text thing which you can paste anywhere. So that's how you share your program with the world, with your friends, with us, with anyone. So that's how you share. Does that help? When you go back to your program, let's say I want to work on this, you can click on it, again open that program, right? You can say see inside. So see inside will take you inside. If I want to change the background, right now it is all white. I come down here, you see there are two buttons here, choose sprite or choose a backdrop. The backdrop is the same as background. So click on that and then click on choose a file, choose a backdrop. can choose from any of these. There are lots of variety of backdrops available. Let's say I want a beach backdrop. I can click on the beach, and that becomes my backdrop.
Now there's another question. We have to do it by our mind. Like if they want to do any story, you can do any story as long as the story involves Lord Ganesha.
Yes, yes.
So you can use like a fictitious story. You can create your own story, or what has happened in the past. Like whatever we have been told before, we can use that. How to send project? Yeah, how to send project? We will be obviously giving you the link for the form, and that's where you have to submit your link. So when once you finish your project, then you get the link on the top, and that's what you have to submit it along with your name, email address, and everything. But that will be shared on our Facebook page. So just keep watching on your Facebook. So those who do not have Facebook account or whatever, make sure that you are in touch with your friends. Because we recommend looking at Facebook. Okay, how to animate an image uploaded.
Yeah. So what I recommend is right now, don't try to create your own images. There is not enough time. It is not impossible. It's not difficult. But in the given time, try to use existing costumes. Okay. Like Scratch has a lot of costumes available. So try to use. Don't try to create, your own right now. Is my suggestion. You can use images, but for animations purpose, try to keep it simple.
Okay, and the forms will be available from 5th of September onwards. So there was a question like after when the forms will be available for submitting. So it will be available after 5th.
Okay.
Okay, and the Facebook page, you can go to Virtual Bappa. So just go to Facebook and then type Virtual Bappa, and then you will be able to see everything there. By default on Scratch, you do not have Ganesha's costume. So you have to create your own version. Make sure that you create your own costume. If you want, you can draw that, or you can use the one that's available on the internet, and that you can upload it as a sprite. And then when you upload it as a sprite, you can create that different costumes with different colors or whatever.
Yeah, somebody asked again how to share if it's an offline project. So once again, you create a project, you have the option to work online on the website, or you can upload from your computer. So if you click on file, you say load from your computer. Whatever project you are, doing, you can do it like this. And once you do that, the steps are similar. Again, once again, you have to say whatever name you want to give, let's say, by June. And then click on, it's already shared. So because it's shared, otherwise you have to click on the share button. So same steps. You have to click on the orange button to share it.